Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsamberne.com. Now, to the latest EyeClarity episode. Hey everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the program today. A little different spin on my podcast today. This is a counseling session, coaching session that I gave recently with a young entrepreneur who's trying to build her brand in the health and beauty space. Yes, part of my time is not only creating amazing content for you in holistic eye care and holistic health, but because of my development in being able to market and brand my own stuff, I also help young entrepreneurs. So in this episode, I give a lot of advice on different ways to build a brand from the ground up. And I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for tuning in. YouTube Shorts, and I'd probably add Facebook Reels. I've had a couple go viral. They've been really good. And so with YouTube Shorts, the reason why that's such a great potential is that the algorithm on that is huge. I mean, aside from Google, I think YouTube is the next largest community. And depending on the title, the hashtags you use, how creative you are with it, it's pretty robust. So I would definitely do YouTube Shorts. And the other one that's just on fire right now are Facebook Reels. So whatever you do with YouTube Shorts, you could go over and just post it on Facebook Reels. It's really simple. There's actually a little label that you just click on Reels, and you can actually include captions with that on Facebook Reels. So it creates captions, which are kind of cool. And, it's a quick hitter, 30 seconds, something quick. Right. But both of those right now are really great. So I would highly recommend, and you could look at other influencers in your brand, in your field, see what they're doing to get an idea of what people are interested in, and also maybe looking at their hashtags, because that can also kind of bring in a lot of interest as well. So right on, those are two really good channels for you. You'll do a lot on TikTok, and it's ebb and flow. Again, what I'm seeing about TikTok is that people our age are watching. I'll get clients, I'll get product interest with people our age now. So it isn't just the teenagers. And again, you could do a little research on health and beauty aids or whatever your beauty products are. Those do incredibly well, especially if you can show like a before and after. And there are other techniques like stitching, like finding another TikTok video, and then you put in your comments after people watch part of that. So there's also green screen that works really well. So, and again, that's pretty easy. You just can Google, how do I do green screen on TikTok? So it might be your products in the background or something in the background, and then you're speaking, and that can do well. So you just mix it up and be disciplined about doing, even if you can do a post a day, that would be awesome, just to get some momentum going. But in your field, and especially with women, oh my God, that is a real virality potential. Viral, yes, sorry about that. Viral, like in my male, and I'm doing a health and wellness, that is so glutted. But females, when you connect to females, oh my God, and beauty, if once you click into it, you could really increase quite quickly. It's like your products are unique, and if you get this endorsement from the Los Alamos scientist, oh my God, I would run with that, because then people go, oh wow, there's actually some credibility. You're not just making something up. So that's really smart that you're doing that, and you get that endorsement. So it is glutted, but there's always room for cool people like yourself if you just just jump into the pool and experiment. It's probably going to be a bit of an experimentation to see what works, what doesn't, and you can do with what I like about the still pictures. Again, what I find works on Instagram is the still picture and then doing a really informative copy below it, because people like to read, and again, hashtags are important. With Instagram, there's still a lot of still pictures, and then you can take those still pictures, and I run them on Instagram stories, and you can actually put a link on the picture in Instagram story that they could go right to your web store based on that. Like, we're doing a Valentine's Day sale on red glasses. Okay, seeing red. And so again, I have a slide of my red glasses, 10% off, and then shop. There's a link on Instagram stories, and that goes to Facebook stories as well. That's done incredibly well for me. So you can take that slide and repurpose it, and put it, both on Instagram stories and your Instagram feed. And you can do short videos on Instagram stories too, but I would add that as well, because people like the stories, and you'll start to get followers. Like the other day I put up like 15 stories, one right after the other, and people just loved it. So I would, the more channels you can get into, the better it is. And I don't know where you're at with podcasting, but maybe once you get going, doing a short podcast show, and you could actually interview, other prospective clients and let them talk. I mean, with the ego, they would love to talk about themselves, but then they get to know you. And so, like, maybe one of these, if you have a favorite store that you like, where you're trying to get, into that store, maybe interview the owner, and do a soft sell. So you're not trying to just sell them something, but hey, I'd love for you to come on my show. And she gets to know you, and you get to know her, and who knows what those spin-offs turn into. So I know it's more time, but... Pardon me?
What did you say? Use that as a sales tool?
Yeah, I use it more as a brand building tool and a relationship tool, and the sales is in the background. So I'm not leading with transaction, like, oh, I'm gonna just sell them. It's more about you're dating them. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, we're gonna date and get to know each other, develop a relationship. Like the other day, I was cultivating a relationship with a physical fitness place in Denver. And I got an email last night. They want to buy a big quantity of my products. Now, I had no idea that was going to turn into that. It's kind of like what you're doing, but I didn't even think about that. And now I'm getting some of these other health clinics that want to have my stuff, because my brand is getting pretty robust. I have a good reputation, and people go, wow, we love your products. Can we carry them? So I kind of did it in the back door, but I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just cultivating relationships with different businesses. So, and it takes time, it's not going to be necessarily overnight, although it could be. So what's happening with LinkedIn is, that's great for business to business, as you know, And depending on how much research you have, you could certainly, I mean, I would probably just start off posting on LinkedIn, and you could do slides. That'd be totally fine. And, you know, one of the things I've been doing with LinkedIn, because what's coming to me now is health practitioners want to learn how to do social media. I wasn't even thinking about this. And because I'm posting, like I took the SCORE webinar and I cut it up, I was telling Lou about this, into different pieces. And so some of my colleagues are going, wow, where did you learn this? How'd you do it? And so it may turn into a side hustle where I'm actually helping you know, health practitioners build their brand. For you, you know, thinking about how you want to relate to B2B, like it sounds like you want to do some kind of commerce with them. Well, first of all, they have to know about you. And then maybe down the road, if you know, are consistent with your LinkedIn, you could even do a little ad, you know, a video ad where you could actually target certain health and beauty companies or whatever. And that can work. What I would do with CBD is I would just start doing posts with the benefits. And of course, you can't make claims that CBD treats disease or treats this, because then you're going to be on the FDA is going to be on you. I did this with my eye drops, which is very controversial. And you know, the eye drop industry is billions of dollars, and they don't want somebody like me coming out with an alternative product. So I just started to post, well, these are the benefits of it. This is why it works. And then on my website, I had people make reviews on it. And there's I don't know what your platform is for your e-commerce, but like on Shopify, you can actually get an app that will trigger on a sale. If you give me a review, I'll send you a free bottle. And if you looked at my MSM reviews, I mean, I've got stellar 5-star reviews. That sells itself. And between that and just doing, you know, I want to learn about your CBD. Can you tell me about it? Can you, you know, teach me about it? And you, of course, you have to stay within the parameters of, you know, you're not treating, you're not this, you're not, you know, whatever it is, because it is a highly controversial regulated field, but you can use that to your benefit. But I would go directly to the customer and just start educating them. And then seeing if you could collect some reviews. We did this on our Amazon store. And of course, with Amazon, it's even more critical that you have reviews. And, but I think reviews, people look at those and they make their decision based on that. So, and I just wouldn't worry about the whole regulating situation. I think you can, that's a hot ticket. And I think once you get your name out there, you could do really well with it. So there's a group of ophthalmologists, so they're medical doctors in London, and they've been studying people that go blind, you know, especially as we get older. And they didn't want to use drugs. So they discovered this red, when you look at red light, what it does is it stimulates the mitochondria. Those are the energy producers in the retina. And so this ophthalmologist did this study over 12 weeks. He took people between the ages of 40 and 70 who were going blind. And he had them look at this red light every morning, like 3 days a week. And at the end of 12 weeks, there was a 22% increase in people's eyesight, being able to read the eye chart better. Now, most eye research, you get maybe 3 or 5%. You know, you might get a little bit more on one of the lines on the eye chart. This was like 3 lines on the eye chart. And so he's been working with neuroscientists for many years. And I follow this guy in Stanford who's a wonderful, his name's Huberman. And he's a neuroscientist, and he also teaches holistic eye principles. So I really looked at the research and I said, this is great. And I've been doing this a long time anyway. So I contacted a company in the UK who they work with. I said, hey, would you send me some? Well, they were really flaky. And so I said, well, I know how to do this. So I contacted my manufacturer. But I made the mistake is I started posting on the internet, and people go, okay, I want to buy these. So we got a huge order, and my fulfillment team was very upset because they're like, well, give us a warning. So again, it was a viral thing. It went, and so today we're doing another Valentine's Day sale, and I'm looking, and we're already doing very, very well. So it helps people with blindness, and it's not using drugs, and there's good research around it. So that's again where you could use research to say, hey man, this is like what we're finding. And if you can bring that into your products, then people know there's credibility. It's gonna fly off the shelf for you. So that's kind of the example in the webinar why I gave that, because it doesn't matter what the product is. If you've got a really good background with it, then you'll make a lot of money from it. And the eyes are kind of the inner skin. When we talk about when you're born, before you're born, prenatally, the eyes originate from the brain. They're the outer part of the brain and the skin. And you're right, red light is being used for inflammation and pain. You get these big red light boxes, and it helps your energy, so it's definitely coming. They're trying to use things besides pharmaceutical drugs that have the side effects. Found a really good platform. It's called Uscreen is the platform. So basically, I'm going to charge like $10 a month, and you can sign up monthly for 6 months, for a year. Of course, I'll give a discount if you sign up for longer. $10 a month, and then you have access to, you get a free product if you sign up. You get access to a live chat, which I'm going to be doing Q&A, and also all my videos. We're getting those set up in different categories. How to heal your cataracts. Okay, here's a course on it. So I think it's a great way. I see influencers now are monetizing some of their, deeper content. And I'm sure you could come up with innovative things that, oh, if I joined your subscription membership, what would I get? Would I get a consult with you? Would I get, earlier discount offers, whatever. And then, of course, the other thing is the bundles. And Lou has helped me a lot with the bundles. So now we're putting products together. If you've got dry eye, here are the products you need. People are going to go shopping. Why not just have them spend more and organize it for them? So I want you to Google this. It's called Chat GPT. It's an artificial intelligence software. So I'll tell you what I do. I will go on there and I'll say, can you compare the difference between computer vision syndrome and dry eye? And it will give me something, okay? And I take that, and then I fill in my personal things about my approach, and then I put it on a program called Grammarly, which is a grammatical software program, and I come up with a blog, a written blog, and I post that. I may even turn it into a podcast where I now have the content, and I do an audio I may even do a video on it. But the AI is coming in it's pretty impressive. You could say something like, okay, can you explain to me such and such in Mike Tyson's voice, who's a boxer, and it will come up. I mean, it will just do whatever whatever you want. And it's a great way to get an outline, a skeleton. Like, it would be really interesting for you to do something like on CBD or something on some of your products, what's in them. And so a written blog, people love to read. And then, of course, you can just post that link on LinkedIn or Facebook. And you could also do an audio or a video. You just sit there and say, okay, I have the content now. So I would encourage you, if you're interested in that, because people like to read. They like written blogs. So it would streamline what you want to write. And I find the average blog is somewhere around 800 to 1,000 words. And plus, it's great for your search engine because you get all those different words on there. So that's going to bring more traffic to you. And it's another channel, and right now, since you don't have a lot of mobility, you can sit at your computer and just, I do like 3 or 4 blogs at a time, and then I post once a week, so I have them in the, on my desktop. So that's a really easy way for you to work with where you're at right now. I want to see more content. I want to see you as an expert getting out there, because that's going to build your brand. And you're in a position right now where you're not running around. So this would be a time to start building that archive however you feel comfortable. I mean, all you need for a video is, turn your phone on and speak into it. And it doesn't need to be high production value. In fact, the more raw the video, the more viral it goes, because people see your authenticity. So you could even, I'll look at like Lady Gaga, because she's got like a lot of beauty products, and you actually see her applying it, and so application, how does it fit into my lifestyle, stuff like that. I mean, that's your field, not mine. But, I look at some of these big influencers, and, what does she have, like 53 million followers? So, I mean, she's doing something there that's, that's pretty good.
Did you see that Rihanna, or
Yeah,
however you say her
Rihanna,
name,
yeah.
threw on some, she's a big beauty mogul.
Yeah.
She threw some product on.
Of course. I mean, she had, I don't know how many people watched the Super Bowl, but she's pregnant, okay, so there was that. She's so connected to women. And then the beauty product, I mean, great branding, great opportunity to, cash in on that. So, by the way, the Super Bowl ads, they're worth the money. Like regular ad commercials are not, but when you get on the Super Bowl and you do a commercial and it's really expensive, everybody's watching that. So that's like what the marketing agencies go for, is that Super Bowl ad. That's like the big thing. But otherwise, who watches commercials? As soon as a commercial comes on, you're turning down the news. So I got an email from this young entrepreneur after our session, and she was just over the moon. She has a lot of great ideas, very inspired. So it's a great thing now to be able to use the internet and being able to build your business, build your brand. There's no middleman or middlewoman to get in the way. And I was very excited to help, and I wanted to share that with you. So if you want to text me, you can always do so. Send me your questions, 844-932-1291. Or you can also email me, hello@drsamberne.com. So I wish you all the very best. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, everybody. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the EyeClarity podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.